All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back here for another recap video. Today we are finishing a green. We are finishing green up $881, so pretty decent day here. Trading mostly MGOL and MGRX, which we can take a look at. So pre-market, the leading gapper GTBP did look pretty decent. I thought this would be the one. I thought this would be pretty active here at the open, since yesterday we had a decent move from 3 up to 10. Although it was a little choppy, there was still opportunity. We did consolidate and kind of hold these key levels, and then pre-market we started to just go parabolic from $8 all the way up to $15 a share. So pretty decent move, all things considered. However, there was no news on it. And right before they open, the company puts out an offering. So anyone who was long pretty much got wiped out here. Pre-market pretty much gave back the entire move today. And this is exactly why we do not hold and hope. This is why we got to stay firm with our principles, with our rules, and our risk management strategy. Because it only takes one mistake, and before you know it, if you even give it a minute longer, let's say you buy here and you don't even know there's an offering, and it just comes down a little bit lower, before you know it, if you give it that extra minute, you're down here at $7 a share. That's a 50% loss. So this is why we need to, stay strict with our risk management, and don't give it any room for error if you don't need to. No, don't give any room for error. And this was pretty instant move. You didn't have much time here to get out at a reasonable exit after the news dropped for the offering. So let's take a look here at the main stock of the day, MGOL. This one I'm up about 817 on. Made majority of the move on this leg. And the picture perfect setup was the 5-minute breakout, 1-minute pullback, which we saw perfect, absolutely perfect. So here's your 5-minute consolidation, or a longer time frame consolidation. We didn't quite get the red to green here right after they open, but we did make that higher low. In this area, we made a higher low and started to curl back up. Any shorts that are in this area are going to be stopping out here at 75 on the break of this pivot, stopping out here into the high. We've got the instant halt up, and the halt up, the instant halt up. Sorry, not the instant. It wasn't really instant. It was pretty decent. We did have a couple false halt ups, false halts on this, which can be a little tricky, but so on the halt up after a fresh breakout, I definitely should be a little bit more aggressive, because it's showing that the momentum is in my favor. The shorts are stopping out. We're having high day volume here on a fat green candle through the high. Everything is telling me you got to get aggressive here. No holding back on something like this, because most shorts, if they're stuck short here, they're going to be covering on the resumption almost pretty much 100% of the time, because you don't know how high this can go. Maybe it's an insta halt up again, which we've seen many times, and then if they give it even just a second longer or a minute longer, then you could be holding into another halt up, and who knows where that one's going to open up. So from a short perspective, I would be panicking here. And so that gives me the conviction to where I should be getting more aggressive. So we had the 5-minute consolidation, 5-minute breakout, 1-minute pullback. This is our 1-minute pullback. And again, the 1-minute pullback after a fresh 5-minute breakout has a higher likelihood of continuing higher than any subsequent pullback. So first 1-minute pullback, you definitely want to be more active, or if you trade my strategy, of course, if you trade the hyper scalping strategy, or I guess if you even trade any sort of 1-minute trade, 1-minute time frame trades, or any shorter time frame trades, maybe up to like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. The 1-minute pullback is definitely going to offer great opportunity for you, since it does offer a decent likelihood. If it's in a warm market or a hot market, it does offer decent likelihood or probability that it will continue. However, every subsequent 1-minute pullback does have a lower chance of continuing, which by that I mean you get the 5-minute breakout, okay, 1-minute pullback, continue, On the second 1 minute pullback, we may pull back again, but we're not going to have that same probability that we did on the first 1 minute pullback. So maybe on the second 1 minute pullback, maybe I take smaller share size. Okay, let's say we continue higher. On the third 1 minute pullback, we even have a lower probability of continuing higher than the previous first and second pullback. So maybe on that one, I take a third of the share size. And so by utilizing that share sizing strategy, you will be able to protect the gains that you worked hard for or that you previously made on the stock, and not having it reversed to where, okay, the stock is ripping, so let's start small size, let's warm up here, and then the first one to pull back, let me put in a little bit more size, and then the second one to pull back, okay, it's starting to go, now let's maybe double our share size, and then the third pullback, oh, now it's time to go all in, baby, let's go all in, baby, and then before you know it, you're getting caught on a flush, and you pretty much wipe out your entire day. So that's what we don't want. What we want is in the higher probability areas, we want to be the most size, and in the least probability areas, which may still be in your favor, which, every trade that you take should be in your favor, obviously, either through win-loss ratio, by the factors of win-loss ratio or profit risk to reward ratio. However, that equation comes out, it should always be over 1.0. So that should be any setup that you take. But yeah, obviously on the ones that have a higher profit factor, let's say maybe 2.0 or 2.5, which would be kind of earlier in the move for the momentum traders, you want to be most aggressive, and then the lower probability areas you want to be the least aggressive, even if it's still in your favor, because you are going to be minimizing the chance of wiping out gains that you made from an A+ setup. So if you want to size up, if you're looking to size up, don't look to kind of warm up so slowly. Find the area or the time of day or the area in the move where your probability of where you make the highest likelihood of making the most money, or your highest accuracy or your highest risk reward. Find that area in the chart, or sometimes in the time of day or a specific setup. Find that and pinpoint that, and then size up in that area versus trying to warm up, and then, oh crap, here we go. Are we off to the races here? Are we off to the races? I gotta pull this up. Ooh, doggy. But yeah, you just want to pinpoint the area in the chart where you do best, and the areas in the move where you do best. And if you want to size up, focusing on those areas versus waiting for the end of the move to really size up. That's kind of what the gist of what I was trying to say there. But yeah, MGOL. Let's see here. We have to hold this. I will trade this. I was trading very well on it, so I will start trading this if we do hold over this pivot. So we have a clear level here. We did pop over there, however we couldn't hold. So if anyone's holding short, they're holding in this area. So if it starts to squeeze, then maybe I want to jump on the momentum. I don't want to risk the entire day's worth of profit at the end of the day, so I do want to start small share size, and then build a cushion, and then go for it. I don't know if this is going to be the start of the move, though. I don't know if this is going to be something that's going to rip through the high, because the volume doesn't seem all that great. Still kind of trending down. But I'll put another alert. If we break back over, then I'll look to get aggressive. But yeah, so we did get the 5-minute breakout, 1-minute pullback, continued higher, and etc. So, and then MGRX was the sympathy. MGRX was a sympathy at MGOL. After we saw the halt up on MGOL, we saw action here at MGRX. However, it was a little bit smaller of a move, but I was able to get some profit on it. but we can take a look at the film just to take a look at some of the trades that I took today. However, the full archive, if you want to take a look at the full archive, that will only be for our Triad Trading Archive members, which you can access that with the link down the description through MMU. But let's take a look at the film. I'll also keep an eye out on that alert. Maybe I can take this off. I'm not sure. Let me just get rid of this. All right, so decent halt up. We said at the open we did get a decent trade for the break of $1. So we got a nice pullback under a break of $1, break back over $1. Looks like I'm up 240 there. The 1 minute pullback, so decent here. Getting in there at 103. Selling at 107, 108 maybe, 107, 108. So pretty decent. However, it's time for me, I got to get aggressive in this area. First 1 minute pullback, so we're still could be early in the move here. So I did jump up to 2,500 shares. I still won't even push it harder than that. I'm still, at this point, I still think it's quite extended. I still think we can get another retest of $1. So I am a little bit less aggressive here. Up 336. So we get that pullback here to $1. And looks like I get in there at 147. I'm just waiting for it to start to pop back up, but we don't see buyers yet. Okay, getting in at 104. We see a couple buyers there. Are we going to continue? Okay, no. So we don't. I take it for a 1 cent gain there. Okay, so here we do get that 1 minute pullback bounce. So what I was looking for was that break back under $1. If we can break under $1 and bounce back up, would be a good trade. So I was looking for, since it's a key support level and we're in an upward trend on the first 1 minute pullback, I'm thinking that there's going to be buyers under this $1 level. So I wait for the break of under $1. Looking at the level 2. Okay, one's getting chipped away. As soon as we hit 99, I want to buy. Boom, 99. All right, I want to buy here. We're still holding. We didn't flush down. We're still above the 9 EMA. First 1 minute pullback after a fresh 5 minute breakout with high a day volume on the surge. Pretty still early in the move. So, this is, I need to be aggressive here. So I do double hit the buy button. 3K shares, average 101. Selling up there at 107.8, 107 or 108. With for a pretty decent trade, so that puts me up 480. Pretty decent trade. I could have got more aggressive. I could have got even more aggressive. Now I'm at 511, so pretty decent in that area. We did pull all the way back there, which is kind of extreme. So I got a little bit nervous, but I'm up 589. Now we start curling back up. We don't break back under $1, which is a good sign. If we broke back under $1 and started holding below $1, that's when I start to be like, okay, maybe might be having a longer consolidation period. Maybe it's time to be more patient until we get the move. Since we don't break back under $1, we start curling up. This is where I start being aggressive. I just need to be aggressive. I didn't get aggressive enough. We topped out there and then we started pulling back. I'm like, okay, is this going to be a false breakout or are we going to continue? Starts to get a little sketch here. Waiting for the signal. Okay, tape speeding up. But I only see red. Coming back down, 107. We're still kind of holding. Okay, let's get in at 108. No, we don't bounce yet, so I'm out for break even. It's a little tricky here. In hindsight, it looks clean, but in reality, this is nuts. Okay, here it is in at 108, and I need to be in. I got filled at 108 and 113. Not terrible. Only 2K shares. Taking that off at somehow I get filled at 116 when the stock is at 120. So that should have been an extra $100 in my pocket. You get pinned to the halt level. Sometimes when you get pinned to the halt level, the false halt up could provide opportunity. Let's see here. We pull back to 118. Okay, I'm getting out at 119. Okay, we're at 120. It looks like it's going to halt here. We don't halt. We don't halt. When we pull back, micro pullback. This gets a little bit sketch. Micro pullback in at 119 since we're holding 118. And then I want to see the retest of the halt level. I want to see another push to the halt level. So I'm actually holding this up to 124, taking it off into that halt level for a nice, pretty decent profit. Now I'm up 729. And now we're looking at this freaking halt resumption was so juicy. Let's see here. This halt resumption was so juicy, but I completely butchered it, man. This would have put me over 1K in a day. So we unhalt, we start inching higher, and then we get the dip. Come on. Boom, dip, but I see the halt level at 110. So I'm like, oh man, I don't know, I don't want to get in. The dip into a halt down is like my worst entries ever, my worst losses ever. So I'm like, no, let's just take it easy here. Be patient. It's getting close. Okay, I saw 115, so I just got in. Selling for pretty much break even, 1 cent gain there. I'm still on small size. Then I started seeing it reclaim. Oh man. And we stall out right when I enter, and then we go. So I completely butchered this, completely mistimed it. But that's just how it goes, man. It's just how it goes. All I can do is review it, take a look at, I mean, it was in good faith, though, because we did see a pin and a halt down. It easily could have just bounced up to maybe 120. I would have gotten in and then flashed back down to 108 and halted down. That could have easily happened as well. So, I can't beat myself up early there. But I can take a look at it for next time. So here was my last decent trade of the day. So at this point I'm up like 730, 740. We're dipping down. Key support level. I want to see if this is going to break below and hold, or if this is going to break and start to reclaim. So is this the beginning of the end, or does it have more in it? Let's see here. Okay, let's review that. Okay, so we dip back below. We dip below and we start to bounce up. I see some buyers. I see a decent bid there. So let's put in a starter there at 106. All right, I see it's working. So I just start jumping in. I'm in, 3,250 shares. Selling on the pop there up 854 now. So decent trade there for $100. But it didn't continue higher after that. But that was it on MGOL. If you guys want to see the full archive, you guys can check that out at MMU. You guys can have access to that. That'll be up for those of you who are already in it. That'll be available later today after this recap when I can upload it. Let's take a look here at the statistics on the day. Keeping the green streak alive, which is great. I didn't give back any profit off the high, so I'm pretty much ending at the all-time high. I think the one thing I could have done different was obviously this trade here on the halt resumption and also just overall being a little bit more aggressive. I just didn't trade to the highest capabilities that I could have traded today. But all things, I still did pretty decent. I can't beat myself up too much about it. So decent accuracy at 52%, profit margin 63%, decent risk to reward, slightly over 1 to 2 risk to reward. The largest loss only $32, so keeping those losses tight. Largest winner up 172, which isn't the biggest, but you know, staying consistent, I guess, added up to a decent day. But I need to be a little bit more aggressive. It's time for me to push the size. The market's warming up. The market's warm. Market's, you know, we see this consistency with this action. I need to push it, man. I need to push it. If I wanna grow as a trader, I cannot stay stagnant, and it's very hard for me. You know, it's very hard for me to push myself sometimes. You know, sometimes it's just so easy to talk myself out of taking a big trade. You know, thinking like, oh, it's this or it's that, or something's not right or whatever, or the price action of the spread or the this or the that, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, if I'm green and, you know, I'm doing something right, my strategy is working, I should be scaling it up. Growing my account. But looks like the day is going to end here without any power hour moves, at least for me. MGOL tried to go for it. But we did stall out here on the break of this previous high here at 126 up to 130, and that was it. So hopefully you guys did well today. We had some decent action here on MGOL and MGRX. Hopefully you guys dialed in on that. Hopefully this continues. Tomorrow will be another day. If you guys didn't make anything today, there's always an opportunity right around the corner. Always remember that. The market will always be here for you. You got to have the longevity, marathon mindset. It takes a long time to make money in the market. This is my 4th year trading. 4 years. The first 2 years trading, I was making $10 a day, and a lot of the times I was trading and I was losing money. People thought I was crazy, and when I was super stoked about making $30 in the market, people were making fun of me. They were saying all sorts of stuff. And you know, that's, I would never make it, and how are you going to do $30 a day? It's not even worth your time. But I had that long-term vision. I knew who I would be in the future. I knew where I would be at, and I kept showing up, kept putting in the work. And you know, I'm definitely happy with where I'm at right now, but there's so much more ground to cover. There's so much more glory to be had, more bigger days. Super excited, and I hope you guys are excited for your journey as a trader, because it's honestly the most fulfilling thing you'll ever do. You know, just something that you're so passionate about, putting in so much work, you know, studying very hard, you know, learning everything that you can do, and practicing to, you know, just you know, starting to get some traction, and even just growing your account to new levels, even from going from, you know, $100 a day to $1,000 a day, or $1,000 a day to $2,000 or $3,000 a day. Even that transition itself is just like such a miraculous feeling, and I hope every one of you guys can experience that, because it's honestly one of the best things to experience. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the recap. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button for me on the way out. If you guys are new, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you part of the community. Check out the links on the description, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for the pre-market pump. Peace.